Hello, let us try to study environmental studies. My portion will be Unit 1, that is, Introduction. Scope and importance, multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies, ecology, concept, classification, and ecological levels of organization, ecosystem, concept types, classification, and components of an ecosystem, structure and function of an ecosystem. Today, our topic will be introduction, definition, scope and importance. The term environment simply means surroundings. Our environment is the entire web of biological and physical interactions which characterize the relationship between life and the earth, living beings and their nature. Environmental science is an interdisciplinary, that means two or more disciplines, subject, and involves the study of various subjects in relation to the environment. It helps in understanding a scientific basis for establishing standards, quality, for acceptably clean, safe, healthy environment for human and the natural ecosystem. Environmental science starts by understanding how the natural world in which we live works. Environmental engineering involves the study of the technical processes that are used to minimize pollution. The Environment Protection Act approved by the Government of India in 1986 defines the environment as the sum total of water, air, land, the interrelationships among themselves with human beings and with other organisms and property. Scope, range, area. Environmental study is a broad subject having the components, parts from biology, geology, chemistry, physics, engineering, sociology, health, anthropology, economics, statistics, computers, and philosophy. Everything around us forms our environment, and our lives depend on keeping it vital. That means absolutely necessary, essential systems as intact as possible. Thus, the scope of environmental studies is extremely wide and covers some aspect of nearly every major discipline. Discipline means a branch of learning or scholarly discipline. Our dependence on nature is so immense. Immense means extremely large or great that we cannot continue to live without protecting the Earth's environmental resources. Thus, most traditions, long established tradition means refer to our environment as Mother Nature, and most traditional societies have learned that respecting nature is vital for their livelihoods. Livelihood means a means of securing the necessities of life. This has led to many cultural practices that help traditional societies protect and preserve their natural resources. Proper understanding of the subject is seriously important in view of the total population increase and its related higher increase in demand of natural resources. This is most relevant here in a highly population explosion country like India. For example, though growing more food by using fertilizer and pesticides, developing better strains of domestic animals and crops, irrigating farmland through megadams and developing industry led to rapid economic growth. The ill effects of this type of development led to environmental degradation, downgrade, industrial development and intensive agriculture that provides the goods for our increasingly consumer-oriented society use up large amounts of natural resources such as water, minerals, petroleum products, wood, etc. Non-renewable resources such as minerals and oils are those which will be exhausted in the future if we continue to extract this without a thought for subsequent generations. Renewable resources such as timber and water are those which can be used but can be regenerated by natural processes such as regrowth or rainfall, but the growth of such resources must be balanced with the utilization. For example, if the removal of timber and firewood from a forest is faster than the regrowth and regeneration of trees, it cannot replenish the supply. Our natural resources are in need of careful maintenance, and the use should be according to the need that the environment can continuously supply. This process is known as carrying capacity. This is called sustainable, means lasting long period of time, utilization or development. Importance, significance of environmental studies. We live in a world in which natural resources are limited. Water, air, soil, minerals, oil, the products we get from forests, grasslands, oceans, and from agriculture and livestock are all a part of our life support systems. Without them, life itself would be impossible as we keep increasing in number and the quantity of resources each of us uses also increases. The Earth's Resource base must inevitably, unavoidable, shrink. Shrink means become or make smaller in size or amount. The earth cannot be expected to sustain this expanding level of utilization of resources. Added to this is misuse of resources. We waste or pollute large amounts of nature's clean water. We create more and more material like plastic that we discard after a single use, and we waste colossal means extremely large or great amounts of food, which is discarded means get rid of as garbage. Garbage means domestic waste. Manufacturing processes create solid waste byproducts that are discarded, as well as chemicals that flow out as liquid waste and pollute water, and gases that pollute the air. Increasing amounts of waste cannot be managed by natural processes. These acquire an increasing number or quantity in our environment, leading to a variety of diseases and other adverse bad environmental impacts now seriously affecting all our lives. Air pollution leads to respiratory diseases. Respiratory means breath, in and out breath. Water pollution through gastrointestinal. Gastrointestinal means relating to the stomach and the intestine. Diseases and many pollutants are known to cause cancer. Improving this situation will only happen if each one of us begins to take action in our daily lives that will help preserve our environmental resources. We cannot expect governments alone to manage the safeguarding of the environment, nor can we expect other people to prevent environmental damage. The burden of responsibility is upon us. Need for public awareness. Environmental awareness. Awareness means recognition, understanding. Among people is important, and it involves developing an understanding towards environmental problems, the way we respond to our environment, and adopting eco-friendly. Eco-friendly means not harmful to the environment lifestyle, as the Earth's natural resources, available assets are dwindling, gradually diminishing in size, amount, or strength, and our environment is being increasingly degraded, breakdown by human activities. It is evident. Evident means clearly seen and understood that something needs to be done. Environmental protection is becoming ever more challenging and essential. This can only be made possible through mass public awareness. Social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and mass media such as newspaper, radio, television strongly influence public opinion. Each of us is responsible for spreading this message to as many people as possible. It may be relevant to mention here that our country is one of the very few countries that have provided constitutional safeguards for the preservation and protection of the environment. Article 48A and Article 51A Subnumber G in the section on Directive Principles of State Policies in the Indian Constitution approved in the year 1976 states that the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife in the country and to protect and improve the natural environment including the forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife and to have compassion for the living creatures. Despite this, the importance of environmental studies was not recognized in the Indian curriculum. Hence, the Honorable Supreme Court of India in 1991 on a public interest litigation (PIL) filed by M.C. Mehta in 1988 made it mandatory to include the subject environmental studies in all the universities and colleges. This is basically to create environmental awareness among the Indian